Jews are the perfect enemy. I mean, what kind of, it's like the classic like storybook enemy. You have like the hero who is more like a type of like, you know, he's honest and says it like it is, and maybe he's not the smartest, but he has a like a brave, valorous heart of gold, and it's like, you know, he fixes problems. Like, he doesn't use soft power, he uses like physical force, you know, like he runs into the tower and, you know, slays the serpent or whatever. Meanwhile, you have the like the like dark sorcerer, like conniving, like scheming, like soft power, you know, uses words and language, you know, more like does things in a more like mental, like trickery type way, as opposed to what do you call it? As opposed to a as opposed to like the heroic, like, oh, just go in. And so like Jews are almost like set up like the perfect villain for like the heroic narrative of the frickin' common peasant, whatever. Like, you know, the yeah, it's just perfect. It's like, huh, the perfect villain, you know. It's like, look at all like depictions of like the hero, and it's like we slot perfectly into that, you know. Look at all depictions of like the hero and the villain. Like, it's always, you have like the little, like, humans are drawn to the narrative of like the villain is like the nebbish kind of, maybe even funny or goofy or silly looking, like, ooh type, and the hero is like, oh yes, I'm the big bold hero, here I come. So even innately, it's like we're weighted to think in this way, where it's like, obviously, so if you're like this like urban like middleman diaspora people who are like small stature, it just all works together so well. And it's like, I don't even know, like, did it start that evil people started being portrayed with like hook like features and like little beady like conniving features and like hook noses? Like, did that start because of like perceptions about Jews or Middle Easterners, or is it just that like the kiki and the booba, like we inherently see, like with the kiki, when you say kiki, people draw like a spiky shape, and when you say booba, people draw like a bloopy shape, you know, like a circular, more circular shape. So if you know, even if you look at like the sharp, like pointy features of like a Middle Eastern person, will you think like they're conniving or sneaky or bad? Like, is that an innate thing that we read, or is it like that those tropes, like a lot of the tropes, and even like a lot of the tropes of like, I mean, I'm not saying like like witches and wizards were Jews or anything, but I'm saying like the trope of like the evil, ooh, the evil little kind of guy, like maybe he's like magic or like shrouded in mystery. It's like not a physically strong person, but someone who either has like soft power or like sorcery or something like that, and it's like, or trickery, or, and it's like, and it's like and then it's like, but you even look at portrayals of like, yeah, like I was saying earlier, portrayals of like villainous people have like this sort of like beaky, like more pointed kind of features. Like, which came first? That, like, did that come from like, is that like a Europe? First of all, is that like a cult, like a something that's around the world? Like, do all people have that thing when they're portraying like villainous characters? Or it's like, is that something that explicitly is like a Western trope that comes from like the Eurocentric portrayal, and like of like trying to codify like negative experiences that Europeans have had with like the other of like Middle Eastern people, like Jews and Arabs or whatever? I don't know. Or is it just that humans are innately think? Because if it's innate, it's like Jews have just ended up in the perfect position to be like typecast as like the villains, basically, of the Western world, but wherever they end up more broadly, because it's just the diasporic. If these things are, I mean, diaspora dynamics are kind of like the same wherever you go in a way. So it's like, I mean, there are different histories in each place, but it's like, and then it's, I don't know. So I mean, and then I guess if some of these other things are like universals and constants and stuff, like some of these narrative things, like that aren't even like these specific things that come from like European interaction with like outsiders, then like literally we're like, isn't it just like comically, like cosmically comical how we are in this place of being perfectly able to be typecast as the villain again and again and again.